Well, welcome to Sikorski's Thinkabouts. I'm your host, Laura Sikorski, and thank you for clicking in today. As a reminder, the purpose of our show is to provide answers to customer service, customer experience, and technology operations issues that you viewers may be facing. Our guests discuss topics of interest and provide solid, concrete answers on how to alleviate and prevent problems. My goal is to have all companies thinking like a customer when developing and implementing customer service programs, products, advertising materials, and making changes to your website. The bottom line, we suggest thinkabouts on solutions that'll increase customer satisfaction, retention, and revenue. And today, joining me all the way from Amherst, New Hampshire, is a really great friend of mine, Sheila McGee-Smith. She is founder and principal analyst at McGee-Smith Analytics, and she is a leading communications industry analyst and strategic consultant. She has a great track record in helping technology companies with new product development, competitive assessment, market research, and sales strategies for solutions and services. We are excited to have her, and her views are regularly found on nojitter.com and certainly at her Twitter account at McGee-Smith. So, Sheila, welcome from all the way up there. I'm glad that you're able to join us today. I know both of us got stuck with snow issues for the last couple of days, but we're in and ready. So you know that I'm a firm believer. I just in the intro talked about thinking like a customer. And, you know, we've all been reading recently about the importance of companies having something called a journey map. And I thought today that your topic, which you had suggested, the customer journey management and its relationship with technology. And I think this is going to be a great topic, and I'd really like you to talk about in your introduction, what the heck is customer journey management?
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for having me on, Laura. This has been a very interesting series. I've been keeping track of it since you started it, I guess about 6 months ago.
Just about.
Yep, it's nice to have that live interaction. I know we're doing this over Skype, but I feel like you're right across from me.
Me too.
So customer journey management became a hot topic toward mid-2014, and I think in 2015 there's even going to be a greater awareness of it. And I think it's coming from two sides. I think it's coming from companies understanding that when a customer comes into a contact center, right, they've already been on some journey. They have likely tried some self-service. They've tried to find an answer on the web. They may have done a Google search. They may have gone to the company's website. So there's been a series of steps, a journey that the customer's taken before they get into any kind of direct agent interaction. And that can be on voice, or that could be even over a chat window, right? So what customers like you and I are looking for, we are looking for that agent to know about the journey we've been on. We don't want to start from scratch when we finally hit a live agent. We want them to know what we bought, what might have broken, what services we already have that we may want to extend or expand. We don't want to start from scratch. And that's this notion of customer journey. And what's interesting is, you know, you and I, doing the same thing, buying a new cell phone, for example, might take completely different journeys. But what's specific about it is we have a task in mind. We want to buy a cell phone, right? So if a company, let's think of a company like a mobile cellular company, they have customers who are on a number of different types of journeys, right? So I may be on a journey to buy a phone. I may be on a journey to change my plan. I may be on a journey to correct a billing issue. And each of those is different, and each of those the agent should recognize before I even get to them. It could be because of the steps I've taken, or it could be because of what the cellular company knows about me. They know what I've been doing. They know what phone I have, what plan I'm on. And now I'm going to breathe so that you can
Okay, no,
ask me some questions.
okay,
there.
so essentially what you're saying, it's kind of like an omni-channel situation where it's the different ways that customers can connect with you. This is taking it down a step further and be more specific on the perhaps reason for their call, that we would know that in the contact center beforehand.
Right.
Okay.
We had multi-channel, right?
Right.
Companies tended to think about it as email or voice or chat, right?
Right.
Omnichannel sort of assumed people could use them all. Now, customer journey, I would say, actually takes it up a level, recognizing that the path might include them all and iterations.
I gotcha.
All omnichannel elements.
Now, how does a company truly begin the process of mapping, etc.? I mean, I would think this is an overwhelming process, an overwhelming project, and that people just say, forget it, I can't be bothered. I had to catch myself, but I can really see if I was a company that I had to find all these journeys, I would be so overwhelmed that I'd say, no, let's put it off till 2016. So what can we do to help them with that?
So I almost heard you going for forget about it.
Yeah.
Laura. New York was coming out. I'm from New York too. It's as simple as, if you're a company, you know the journeys that are most important to your business, right? If you are a cellular company, let's stick with that example, you want to acquire more customers, or you want to prevent churn. So you would say, what are the most important journeys? And those you can probably easily identify. There may be 100 journeys somebody could be on, but there are certain ones that drive the most in terms of business outcome. So first, identify those. The second part, it's interesting. We're talking about customer journey management and technology. Some of it is just a management philosophy of thinking about the issue differently, not just thinking about answering that call or responding to that email, but thinking about, what can I do to tie together the information? How can I present information to an agent, for example, that came from the CRM that will give them the idea of what the journey might be, right? That's number one. Beyond that, there are actually some very specific technology solutions that a number of different vendors are beginning to introduce and work with companies to implement that do a much better job of very specifically doing this tracking. So I'm going to let you sort of guide.
Well, can you give us an example? Would that be like the process automation technology? What specific technology is going to help management of a call center get them to the appropriate journey?
Okay, so it's interesting. Avaya is such a common contact center solution that's used in contact centers today, right? Mm-hmm. And Avaya has a solution now that's called the Context Store. It's a server that keeps track of customers' engagement across channels. It holds that context and then delivers it to an agent. So you're implementing a very specific solution, Context Store. You're working with professional services to decide, what is this journey? Buying a new cell phone. What are the possible elements of that journey? And what do I need to store in that Context Store? So the biggest one that we in the contact center have to keep track of that's new for us is web interaction. We're really good at keeping track of when somebody called us or somebody emailed us.
Right.
We're sort of crossing boundaries when we're trying to capture what's happening on a website.
Well, and I think we could take it to another level in terms of, yes, it's the website, but we're also, some of our viewers today are retail stores, or perhaps people that have, a 2 or 3 person billing department. So what we want to do is educate that person as to, this, you just introduced yourself. Hi, I'm Laura from blah, 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 and I want to buy X. and they already are by their computer or perhaps something that's educating them to my past product purchases or something. So, for all of you out there, yes, we may be focused a little bit on the contact center, but think of this journey as anybody coming into your brick and mortar retail store and where that customer wants to get to. So,
let me, if I may, just sort of
sure.
riff off that for a second. I'm going to give a little bit of a plug to Verizon, who is my cellular carrier. And last time I was in a retail store, and we know we all trying to avoid that, right?
Right, definitely.
But I had to go to a retail store. I had a broken phone. The person at the door has an iPad. They ask me for my cell phone number. It comes up. I've made an appointment online. It was a sort of perfect customer journey experience that included, to your point, the retail outlet.
I was, I guess the other thing is we all want to reduce the customer effort. That whole concept of, oh my God, I got to do this before I can get what I really want. And I was reading an article in Customer Relationship Management magazine, and Leonard Cly, who is from Information Today, he had a great quote. The contact center exists to solve problems, not to create more work for the customer. And I thought that was so perfect in our discussion today about that whole issue of customer journey. We're, a little close to time, and I just want to get your idea about customer personalization. I'm gathering you love it.
I do.
Okay. Okay. Well, I do too. I mean, we had our baby boomers and Gen Xers and Gen Ys last week, and there was a little bit of discussion about too much personalization, where they drill down too far. But I still think it's important. I want them to know who I am, and so I think we both agree. Now, we do have...
If I may.
Go ahead.
I think personalization comes down to permission.
Right.
I give United Airlines permission. I give Verizon permission. By being their customer and checking certain boxes, I want them to recognize me. And I think that's the difference. And I think companies recognize that. And when they abuse it is when you have the situations that you're talking about.
Perfect. And, again, that ties right back into customer journey mapping, knowing what I want as a customer. So here's our Twitter question today. Joan writes in, I'm interested in what you, Sheila, feel about a company and what they should have as a technology wish list.
So I think the technology that's come the furthest and is making the best impact right now is speech analytics.
Totally agree.
Applied to workforce optimization. I mean, it's so straightforward. Supervisors cannot listen to all of the calls. All the calls are being recorded. Run them through speech analytics. Set up your wish list of what you want to hear. I want to cancel. I just had a great experience. Whatever those words are. And then listen to those calls only. Don't waste your time listening to calls that were just fine. Use your time wisely.
Right.
And speech analytics is such a great choice. And we have as an industry been talking about it for a while, as we know, but it's cheaper and more accessible and involves less professional services today than it ever has in the past. So I think it's a really great thing to put on your wish list.
I absolutely, totally agree. Thanks, Joan, for that Twitter question. And we are out of time, my friend. And I'd just like to let you guys know out there, if you'd like to reach Sheila, her Twitter account is at McGee-Smith, and that's M-C-G-E-E Smith. Her email, Sheila@McGeeSmith.com, and certainly her website is www.McGeeSmith.com. There's no hyphen between the two. For our show next week, and we're hoping we will be able to do it on Monday, because they're guaranteeing almost that we're going to have snow again. But my guest is coming in from the city, and it's Francia Smith. She was here, I guess, about October time frame. And our topic is going to be the biggest secret of managing change is transition. and we're going to look at the characteristics, the facts, what you can do, and of course, she had some great think-abouts. And I want to thank you very much, Sheila, for joining us today from the beautiful Amherst, New Hampshire. About you, I think you got 5 feet of snow. But, have a safe travels today, and thank you so much. And to all of you, thank you so much for clicking in, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Stay safe.